2024 Honda CR-V Hybrid. As before long as the unused CR-V debuted final year, it was a hit, promptly gaining a 10 Best Trucks and SUVs trophy. We've included Honda's compact SUV on our 10 Best Trucks and SUVs list once more for 2024. The CR-V offers dependably great execution, with bounty of usable space, inviting driving flow, front or all-wheel drive, a 190 HP turbocharged motor, and an discretionary 204 HP half-breed adaptation. That half-breed powertrain conveys a stellar 40 mpg combined. Indeed, in base shape, the CR-V sparkles with a profound layer of present-day tech and security highlights that do not hoard the highlight deservedly possessed by its eminent chassis. The CR-V is our favorite within the profoundly well-known compact hybrid portion, indeed in the midst of firm competition from the Mazda CX-50, the Volkswagen Tiguan, and the Kia Sportage. The Honda CR-V includes a Sport L trim level for 2024, and beginning costs are up over the board. The unused Sport L bridges the hole between Sport Hybrid and Sport Visiting Hybrid trims, and like those two is as it were advertised as a half-breed. Front-wheel drive is standard and all-wheel drive is discretionary for the unused trim level. The Sport L gets calfskin seats, a four-way control traveler situate, front and raise stopping sensors, a remote charging cushion, lackey radio, driver's seat memory, and remote Apple CarPlay and Android Auto capability. Furthermore, the Sport L comes standard with a 9.0-inch touchscreen infotainment framework, 2.0 inches bigger than the Sport's, and an 8-speaker sound framework that betters the Sport's 6-speaker setup but falls brief of the Sport Touring's Bose branded 12-speaker framework. Behind the CR-V's upright grille may be a standard 190 HP turbocharged 1.5-liter four-cylinder. It sets with a ceaselessly variable program transmission, CVT, and either front or all-wheel drive. This setup is standard on the LX, X, and XL models. The Sport and Sport Visiting as it were come with the crossover powertrain, which sets a 2.0-liter four-cylinder with two electric engines for a combined add up to of 204 drive. Whereas the Sport can be had with front or all-wheel drive, the last mentioned is standard on the Sport Visiting. At our test track, the Sport Visiting Hybrid hit 60 miles per hour in a respectable 7.9 seconds. The non-hybrid EXL required a small additional time, completing the same test in 8.3 seconds. Each CR-V has hill descent control that makes a difference. Tweak the compact SUV's speed on soak or elusive decays when traveling at moo speeds. Most models are fitted with a set of 18-inch wheels, with the Sport wearing dark ones. The Sport Visiting gets elite 19-inchers that are also painted dark. Whereas it needs the dealing with thrills we adore within the Mazda CX-50 and the Volkswagen Tiguan, the modern CR-V gives a smooth ride and sufficient moxie to maintain a strategic distance from being boring. The Honda CR-V can tow up to 1,500 pounds, whereas the CR-V Hybrid is constrained to fare 1,000 pounds, when prepared with discretionary towing extras. The CR-V's good-looking insides plan is highlighted by a honeycomb textured embed crossing most of the sprint, watchfully stowing away the discuss vents. The controlling wheel outlines a somewhat computerized gauge cluster with an analog speedometer and a 7.0-inch show that permits the driver to swap between diverse enlightening menus. Honda says the front seats are outlined to diminish driver weariness on long trips, which the modern CR-V's driving position has been made strides. Between the front seat passengers could be an expansive center comfort container, and behind them are leaning back seats with an additional 0.6 inch of raised legroom compared with the active CR-V. There are 36 cubic feet of cargo space behind the Moment Push and 39 3D shapes on gas-only models with the flexible stack floor in its least position. The CR-V's infotainment framework works through a 7.0-inch touchscreen on the LX, X, and Sport trim levels. The setup highlights physical volume and tuning handles as well as Apple CarPlay and Android Auto capability. The XL and Sport Visiting models have a 9.0-inch touchscreen with remote Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. While the greater show doesn't incorporate a tuning handle, there's a volume handle that goes with the built-in route. Furthermore, two USB-C ports for rear seat travelers and wireless smartphone charging. Those who need the 12-speaker Bose sound framework will ought to spring for the top-of-the-line CR-V Sport Visiting.